Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Paul Brooks TV. Specifically, we are about to do the biggest, craziest, most massive Paul's Haul episode of Paul's Hauls that we have ever done. And the reason for that is because I was out of town, out of state in Los Angeles on a road trip out there for over 2 months, a little bit over 2 months. So this is probably going to be a multi-part haul video because let me just get this out of the way. I went crazy. I went absolutely nuts on my road trip picking up movies, some CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, one VHS tape, I think. Anyway, we have a lot to get into, and like I said, it's probably going to be a multi-part thing because trying to fit all of this into one video is probably a bad idea. So we'll just start. I got a pile here next to me, and we'll get started with this right here. I think this is the first thing that I picked up on my road trip. It's called Speaking Parts. It's a film by Adam Egoyan, if you're familiar with him. He did The Sweet Hereafter. He did Exotica, which is on Criterion Collection. And I had heard about this movie. I actually have this on VHS, and I tried to watch it not long before I left for my trip, and the tape would not work. So I was pretty excited when I found this in a really cool movie store in the St. Louis area called Nickel Flicks is where I got this. And I watched this when I was in Los Angeles. I love this movie. If you guys have not seen it, if you're an Adam Egoyan fan and you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. Speaking Parts. I'm going to do my best to not linger on anything too long here, because if I do that, we're going to be here all day. I need to clear some room to put some of these movies. Give me 1 second. Okay, also picked this up at Nickel Flicks in St. Louis. This is called Prey, a film by, what's that say, Norman J. Warren, a British film. Also watched this while I was in LA and enjoyed it quite a bit. Strange little movie, but really cool. This is from Vinegar Syndrome. I'm not sure if Speaking Parts is from, what the heck is that? I think it's one of their partner labels. Anyway, yeah, Prey. I had heard some good things about this and found it for a good price at Nickel Flicks in St. Louis, so I picked it up. That's another recommendation from me. Moving on to, I'm going to be kind of skipping all around here, not in any particular order, but I want to shout out this video store right here that's in Highland Park in Los Angeles. It's called Videotech, and neat little record store, or movie store rather. And I picked up, they had a Justin LaLiberty from Cinematograph was there one night selling some stuff, and I picked up way too much stuff when I was in there. So we'll go through some of that. First, I got The Carpenter. Rip Wingshauser passed away recently, and that was, kind of why I wanted to pick this up for Wings. Watch this one as well. Weird horror movie. And this one's interesting because apparently it had been heavily edited, and they, for this release, went back in and put in a lot of the sort of gore and violence that had been initially cut out of it, but they could only find like the VHS master. So it's a little bit jarring because you can very clearly tell the portions of the movie that were added back in, but it's still really fun. Wings is great in this. Another recommendation from me. This is a big one for me. This is one of the things that I'm most excited about. Also picked this up at Videotech. It's The Dark Half. And this is, believe it or not, this is a Romero blind spot for me. This is one of his films, one of his only films that I have not seen. And the packaging on this, you know, this is a new release from Vinegar Syndrome. I'm going to do probably a whole unboxing. Well, I guess, did I already unbox it? Yeah, I guess I did. Or did I? Plastic is still on there. We're going to do an unboxing, proper unboxing video of this one coming up. But yeah, this is a Romero film that I have not seen yet, and so I'm very excited to check that out. The Dark Half. Also from Videotech, this is a great zombie movie as well. Blood Quantum. Saw this on Shudder a handful of years ago. Really enjoyed it. What's that say? When the dead rise, only the immune survive. I thought I had an interesting take on it. I want to say that the director passed away not too long ago, which is unfortunate, obviously, but I really enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to giving it another watch. And then this is kind of a fun little story that I want to tell really quick. I was standing in line at Videotech because they could only let a certain amount of people in. There was only so many people there to sort of like help run things. And I ended up talking to the director of this movie right here, Destroy All Neighbors. We were standing right next to each other in line and ended up chatting for like a half hour, 45 minutes as we were standing in line waiting to get in to buy stuff. And I had heard of this movie. I think it came out pretty recently. And I was talking to, I think his name's Josh. Yeah, Josh Forbes. Sorry, Josh, if you happen to see this. But we were chatting, and Justin, either Justin or somebody came by to talk to him about the movie, and he mentioned that there was an issue with one of the audio commentary tracks on here. And they were talking about it, and then when I got home here in central Illinois, I've noticed that the replacement disc showed up, so that's funny to me because I was standing there listening to them talk about the fact that there was an issue with the disc, and you know, saw the birth of, oh, we need to send out a replacement disc. So Josh, nice to meet you. Excited to check out the movie. I haven't got around to that one. Yeah, you know what? I'll do a unboxing video for Destroy All Neighbors as well. So stay tuned for that. Okay, Criterion was having their summer sale during my LA trip, so I popped into a couple Barnes and Nobles to pick up some Criterion, starting with Peeping Tom. This is one that I had not seen, but I did watch it while I was in Los Angeles. It's an older movie. It's from 1960. I thought it was pretty okay. I wasn't crazy about it or anything like that. I had heard a lot of talk about how amazing it was, and I think it's the sort of thing where it broke a lot of ground way back then as something that was uncommon and sort of hadn't been done before. So I understand that aspect of it. I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. I picked this up at the Barnes & Noble in Calabasas, California, and was really surprised to see that all of their Criterions were behind the front, the front counter where you purchase stuff. Apparently, they've had a lot of theft of Criterion movies, which I would never have guessed that in Kardashian territory that would be going on. And then I picked up a handful of things from the Barnes & Noble in the Grove in Los Angeles, which if you are familiar with Los Angeles, you're probably familiar with the Grove. And I picked up Romeo and Juliet from 1960s and 1968. Yes. R.I.P. Olivia Hussey. This is one that I feel like I've maybe seen parts of at some point, but I don't think I've watched it all the way through. And yeah, I'm excited to give it a watch. It's a little bit long. It's 138 minutes, so I was kind of going back and forth on it. But, you know, Olivia Hussey, I mean, mostly doing it for her. So excited to watch that. And then this is one that I've also never seen, Paper Moon, from Bogdanovich. And quick story, when I was living in Los Angeles, I got hired to shoot some video of a panel discussion that Peter Bogdanovich was doing about Madeline Kahn, one of the stars of this film, Paper Moon. And that was a really neat experience because we recorded that at the Barnes & Noble in the Grove, at the Grove. And so it was kind of a weird little full circle moment that I ended up back there looking at this and picked it up after having videotaped a conversation with Bogdanovich and Sybil Shepherd and all sorts of people were on this panel talking about Madeline Kahn, and I've still never seen this film, so pretty excited to check it out. Obviously, you have Tatum O'Neal, who, another quick story, I saw in person at Vidiot's in Eagle Rock. They were doing a screening of Little Darlings, which came out on Cinematograph not too long ago. And surprise, surprise, Tatum O'Neal showed up in person to introduce Little Darlings, which is, if you have not seen, I highly recommend that one as well. So excited to watch her in this because I know that she won an Oscar for it, and, you know, Bogdanovich is great, so super excited for that one. Only a couple more for part one of this video. I picked up My Own Private Idaho, another one that I had not seen, but I did watch it with some friends while I was in Los Angeles. And totally not what I was expecting at all. I wanted to like it more, but I guess I had no idea that, what is it based on? It's based on like Henry V or something, right? When it comes to Shakespeare and all that, I just, Shakespeare's Henry IV. You know, it's just not my cup of tea, Shakespeare stuff in general. So this was just way weirder than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be sort of a, gay love story, maybe somewhat similar in the vein of Brokeback Mountain or something like that. It was interesting to watch it, and there was a lot of it that I did like, but it sort of goes through these weird tonal shifts that I had a little bit of trouble vibing with the entire time. But, I would probably give it another go at some point, knowing now what it is and sort of knowing how odd it is. I'd probably be willing to give it another shot. Had fun watching it with friends, though. Last but not least, I think this is actually the final thing that I picked up on my trip back home. I was in Lincoln, Nebraska, and they have a Barnes & Noble there that has a pretty good selection. And on the way home, and I think at the time of this recording right now, this is still going on, they have their Arrow Video 50% off sale. And so I picked up this William Shatner movie called Incubus. You can't quite see the entire title there, but it's called Incubus. And this is another one that I have not seen. Got the plastic still on it, so I'll probably do an unboxing of this as well at some point. For content, to get some content going on the Paul Brooks TV channel, because it's been a minute since I've done anything. I was in LA shooting my new movie, and we had a great time doing that. And I had a great time seeing friends and, hanging out at all my old LA spots, and then road tripping out there and back home. And I went to a wedding, so I was really busy doing all sorts of stuff and spending way too much money on movies. But I'm back home and I have a new job, so that was my justification was, hey, you're going to be making money when you get back home, so it's okay if you blow through untold amounts of money. So I'm excited to check this one out. Incubus, always down for some Shatner. That's part one. I have so many more movies out there, so stay tuned. Next week we'll do another episode of Paul's Halls to continue the road trip LA adventure. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're doing well, and I'll see you next time.